Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I would like to give you guys a update about something important that relates to the channel. Now, if you would just like to skip straight to the news, I will leave a timestamp here in a second, but I do encourage you to watch the entire thing for full context so you know how we got to this point. So, when it comes to this update, I wanted to talk about the channel and the types of videos I upload. So for a little bit of backstory, I wanted to let you guys know, in case you're new around here, how I basically got my YouTube channel started. So for several years, for about 10 years or so, I kind of just upload whatever the heck I wanted. I would upload random things such as skit videos. There was that point where I ended up making Nerf gun videos towards the beginning, and it eventually landed on gaming videos. Now, these gaming videos, or just my videos in general for the longest time, were just solely for me. It was just that way. My YouTube channel was the history of my life in a nutshell. It was a virtual scrapbook, so that way my best memories were permanently here on the internet. So eventually, when I'm old and don't remember much, I can look back and say, oh, I remember that. And then eventually, it started to be to the point where I wanted to get to have my channel be popular and get to know, people like you guys. And I tried different things, and not everything I did clicked, and there's been highs and some lows, but the thing that mostly took the channel off was in 2020 during the pandemic, where, and this is going to sound sappy, but to be perfectly honest with you, is that initially when the pandemic happened, no one knew what to do, and I thought rationally in my mind that if there was a random chance, even if it was small, that I could just flat out die and the world would end, that I want to go out on my own terms. So I committed my ass to just making my YouTube channel the best thing it could possibly be. It wasn't a casual hobby anymore, it was a passion. There was a fire under my butt that was never there before. And around this time, Left 4 Dead 2, which is one of my favorite video games of all time, had one final big update, which was the Last Stand update. With the combination of me having all the free time imaginable in the world, with everything being undetermined from the pandemic, and Left 4 Dead getting an update where there really wasn't a lot of people covering it, that combination allowed me to be able to have my YouTube channel for the first time in my entire life feel like it took off. I only have so many subscribers and views and whatever have you that you might try to, compare stats, but I'm happy with the progress that I have made, significantly so, because you guys are not just numbers to me. You were all individual people that took the time to watch my content, and that's a privilege. That will always be a privilege to me. And that is why it was hard for me to think about this, but when I was starting to get to the point where about a year ago, I was starting to slowly get burnt out of Left 4 Dead, because that game is basically a dormant franchise. Valve doesn't really make sequels for their games. They really also tend to not update their games, at least the ones I play. I know that they work on things like CSGO, and they work on a couple new titles here or there, but there's not like a Left 4 Dead 3 or a Portal 3 or a Half-Life 3. They have a hard time getting past the number 2. And so Valve games are quality, but once you complete them, unless you want to play with modded stuff, that's basically it. And that's what Left 4 Dead was for me. I basically did everything imaginable under the sun. I talked about theorizing the storyline. I talked about doing different challenges. I talked about the brand new Last Stand update its entirety. And I made some guides that, without me, I honestly don't know if anybody would have made a guide on it, because Left 4 Dead's so old of a game at this point. So Left 4 Dead, for me, was my own game. It was the game that I got to sink my teeth into, the game I associate my YouTube channel the most for. And that's a privilege. That will always be a privilege, and I'm never going to regret what I did. However, that being said, is that eventually I did have to move on, because I refused to make bad content despite the fact that I love this game and I could have kept making content hand over fist, but eventually I was going to burn out and it was going to show. I could hypothetically have made Left 4 Dead last forever. I could have made it last till the end of time, but you guys would have eventually saw through me and know that I was just doing it just for the sake of because. And so that is why in the summer of last year, I decided to step away and take a break from Left 4 Dead and move on to another game. The game I chose was Call of Duty Zombies, because I like zombies, I like zombie-themed games, and I have a variety of different things that have worked for me, and that's where the most overlap I felt lied, where if I was going to move on to another game, I would want to be a better game. I would want to be so the channel could improve, because I'm not just going to do what I used to do where I would just randomly, sporadically upload whatever, because it's hard to resonate with a channel like that. I'm not a Markiplier that can pull off any game all at once and just move on that quick. That's not been my type of content that's worked for me, even though I do enjoy doing that at periods of time. I'd more rather now at this point change that to my Twitch channel, or I do things like Challenge Accepted. I try to do it very carefully. And with Call of Duty Zombies, it has seen its own version of its success. The channel has still done well ever since, and I have had different videos take off around the same caliber, if not possibly better, as Left 4 Dead, and that was the intended purpose. However, the one single thing that's making me a little bit worried is the fact that there's not as much overlap as I once thought that there was. So, during 2023, half of the channel was Left 4 Dead and half of the channel was primarily Call of Duty. That's like what the two big games that I played the most were. And when I got my 2023 stats back, I was kind of surprised to see that there wasn't as much overlap as I thought because of this specific picture right here, where the first 6 months of 2023, I had a decent amount of my views just steadily going as normal. And then once I stopped playing Left 4 Dead, it was very, very sporadic. Significantly so. And there's nothing inherently wrong with the views I get. Not every video is going to pop off. I understand that, but when you're used to a certain flow and a certain amount of feedback on your videos, and eventually they just stop performing as well, like they stop getting watched or they don't get liked as much, that can be concerning as a YouTuber. I want to post content you guys will truly enjoy, because if this channel was still about just uploading for me, it would have been the case by now. I would have just stopped giving you guys certain types of updates. I wouldn't let you guys in on what I'm thinking as much. I would just kind of upload randomly and just be like the way it used to be, but that's not what the channel is anymore. The channel has evolved past myself. The channel has evolved to be something we share and is something that is also for you. So what I would like to do is that since this channel isn't entirely about me anymore, and I've had enough of a break away from Left 4 Dead 2, I would like to genuinely ask you guys, at least sporadically, would you like to see me return to that game? Because I'm more than happy to occasionally revisit Left 4 Dead 2. The idea was to never take a break from it permanently. I just needed to take a break for a random amount of time until I felt like it was best. And now I feel like it's proper for me to end up doing it because it's not going to feel fake. So here's the thing, though, is there is going to be a little bit of a caveat to this, is that it won't be like the first initial time. I feel like that's a given, but I need to clarify that. It's not like I'm going to drop Call of Duty all of a sudden and just commit to Left 4 Dead and daily double upload like I did in 2021. The pandemic has since passed. I don't have that free time anymore that I used to have, and I also still, to this day, would like to play other games. So, here's the thing, is that in order for me to mix in Left 4 Dead again on the channel, it can't be like the way it used to be. That initial run was perfect, and I don't regret ending it on a high note, and so I don't think it's something that I should have as an expectation for you guys. I'm not expecting you guys to treat me playing Left 4 Dead again like it was that initial run, because that's not going to be the case. If I were to play Left 4 Dead again, it would just be sporadic but mixed in primarily with Call of Duty. So Call of Duty and Left 4 Dead would be switching roles, essentially, where instead of periodically having a COD video and primarily being Left 4 Dead, it's primarily going to be COD and sporadically Left 4 Dead. So, like, every couple of weeks, just making a Left 4 Dead video. But it would also be on modded content specifically, because that's still novel, and it will feel like that's the best type of content I can make for you guys, because I've already done every sort of ranking imaginable. I don't want to be ranking random things like hands and feet, or having these joke videos where I rank car textures again, because eventually you guys will just stop finding it novel and think I'm being just flat out serious. And I also feel like the storyline, I mean, unless there's a theory for whatever reason that is really good and I've not thought about, I think that I've pretty much talked about everything under the sun with the storyline. And I've also done pretty much every challenge and novel video I can think of regarding the Last Stand update, so all that really would be left for me that I think would be best for you guys is modded content. So this would be things like custom maps, mods like curse mods, and then perhaps finishing Rayman if there's some mods that still work within that mod. So essentially what I'm asking you guys is that, would you be open to the idea, and would you like the idea of me periodically revisiting Left 4 Dead for old time's sake? Because that's still going to be a part of my channel, like no matter what. Like, I know I have a Left 4 Dead predominant community, that's the base. And then anything for like Call of Duty is either a little bit of overlap, or I'm starting kind of an additional fan base. So to keep and honor my old fan base and also start the new one and have the best overlap possible, would you guys be cool if I played both games, essentially? Because I don't want the games to clash. I don't want you guys to be competing about which game gets played more, or if my attention is too divided. Because it's hard for each channel to be about multiple things, like I said, like a Markiplier channel. But I feel like 2 games could work. I feel like if I did Left 4 Dead occasionally and primarily Call of Duty, and mix that in with also the occasional third game here or there, but like have it be a walkthrough game every couple of months, that could work. Obviously, this is not set in stone. I am going to just try this and see if it works. That is, if you guys would like to see it, because I'm totally cool with the idea of just letting Left 4 Dead stay in the past. I am cool with the idea of possibly playing it more in the future. I just want to give you guys what it is that you want, because you deserve it. Like I said, you guys are not just numbers. You are your own individual people with your own unique opinions. The people that were once my subscribers eventually became my closest friends, such as Tyler and Dan and Glabersko. You guys, I would have never met you had I not done this. And I am forever going to be thankful for that. So, to meet more like-minded people and have great memories, make friends, and talk about something we all love, I know I gotta do this right. Which is why I'm asking you, because I'm not gonna want to wing it. I don't want to risk the thing that I have, because to be perfectly honest with you, because you can work with honesty, and I don't know if a YouTuber would be this bold to say this, but in a way, I am reasonably scared of what could happen. I don't want to lose the channel growth that I have gotten, because YouTube's a competitive-ass platform, and it's not a right that you get to have popularity on the internet. That's something that you will earn. I don't care what you say. You could be the best content creator out there, and the internet could be sometimes ruthless and just forget about you within a snap of a finger. And so I know that, and I gotta earn and be careful with your guys' respect, your time, and your patience. So like I said, I want to do this right. Just, I gotta have it where I have clear, crystal feedback. So please, do not be hesitant to tell me. I will totally understand whatever it is, as long as it is the truth. So yeah, I essentially wanted to make this video to let you guys know that that's what I'm thinking. If you guys would like to have any additional questions for me, you can always just let me know via the comment section down below. I can even do a Q&A in the future. You can also check out my Discord, which is linked down below in the description, and maybe even DM me, ask me a personal question. But yeah, let's do this, and let's do this right, because I want to make entertaining content for you, goddammit. I want to make sure I do this right. So yeah, guys. Look forward to more awesome videos coming soon, regardless of what they are, but just know that they come from the heart. But yeah, guys, I hope you end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers are ever going to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.